Now that we completed the basic and intermediate parts, we are now ready to start the advanced part you see on your screen. This part is called block, and this is step 1 of 3. We are going to create this part in millimeters. The part origin is arbitrary, and the material is 1060 alloy. Just like the basic and intermediate parts, we have dimensions A, B, and C. Looking at the part, it appears to have many rectangular features. It also appears it may be symmetrical about a center plane. Let's go to the next screen to verify this. In the top view, we do see a center line, and we have dimensions 40 and 80 and 50, and dimension C is 100. So in fact, it is symmetrical, which means it would be a good practice to create the sketch on a plane and then extrude it about a mid-plane. Looking at the front view, all of these dimensions will provide us the information we need to build this profile. Now there's many different ways you can go about creating this part. One method is to create a large rectangle and extrude it about a mid-plane 100 millimeters. And then using many cut extrude features, slowly carve the shape of this part. That's not very efficient. Another option is to create a sketch of this profile here, and then extrude this profile about a mid-plane 80 millimeters. And then create another sketch of this profile of the right half, and extrude that profile about a mid-plane, a dimension of 100. The most efficient option is to create your sketch to look like this front view, to show all of these perimeter lines along with this vertical line and the circle. And then we can use the selected contours option in the extrude feature and specify the exact profile we want to extrude and the distance we want to extrude it. So that's the approach I am going to take. Let's go to the SolidWorks screen and build this part. Now the first thing we want to do is verify we are working in the correct units, and we are. I am going to create a new sketch. Since the part origin is arbitrary, I am going to select the front plane. I'm going to tap the S key and begin my first line. We do have an inclined surface, and then a horizontal surface, vertical, back to horizontal. And if we return to the drawing screen, the next feature is a radius tangent to this horizontal line, then an inclined surface, and back to the starting point. In SolidWorks, if you are in the line command, notice I'm moving the cursor away from that last point I selected. If I return the cursor to that point, it switches over to an arc. So I am going to draw an arc, and notice it returns to the line command. And here's my incline, and now back to the starting point. Next, I am going to create my circle, and then the last vertical line. Let's go ahead and fit this to the screen. Looking at the sketch, it appears I have a relation here I do not want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this tangent relation. And now I'm ready to begin my dimensioning. I'm going to tap the S key, select the dimension command, and I am going to start by locating the hole feature. This is 35. This dimension here is 25. The diameter of the circle is 20. This height here is 50. And the incline feature is 15 by 25. Next, I'll add this dimension of 100. I'm going to add the overall dimension, which is dimension B of 200. This length here is 150. I have an angle of 60 degrees, a height of 25. This flat here is 75, and this height here is my A dimension of 60. And notice the sketch is fully defined. However, I'm going to add this radius of 10 to show you what's going to happen. Notice I'm getting a message. It says, do you want to make this dimension driven or do you want to leave it as driving? I want to leave this dimension as driving, and that's going to cause a lot of yellow on my screen. The sketch is overdefined. And why is that? Well, this radius here is tangent to this line. We have the radius 10 dimension. That means it's 10 millimeters from this line up vertically to this line. Along with this 50 dimension equals 60. One of these three dimensions needs to be removed. I am going to delete the 50 dimension. Notice it clears the problem, and I have a fully defined sketch. Now the reason I wanted to keep this dimension, this is my dimension A, and I know I'm going to have to modify that value in a later step. So I want to have that dimension on my sketch. Our sketch is fully defined. We are ready to extrude the feature. Let's go to the features ribbon. And we want to extrude about a midplane. And we're going to start with this feature right here. And that is a distance of 80 millimeters. The selected contour will be this profile. I'll go ahead and click the green check mark. And now we have that left end of that part extruded about a midplane 80 millimeters. Let's go back into the extrude boss base command and reuse that original sketch. I'll expand boss extrude 1, select sketch 1. I want to extrude about a midplane, a distance of 100, which is dimension C, and my selected contour will be this profile here. Go ahead and close out of the boss extrude command. Let's go ahead and fit this to the screen. And last, we need to add the material of 1060 alloy. Apply, close, go to the Evaluate tab, check the mass properties, and we have a mass of 2152.92. Let's go back to the drawing screen, and we match with the correct answer, 2152.92. So that concludes step 1 for the advanced part.